So yesterday, Modern Combat Vs. released their orientation trailer. This orientation trailer had a lot of new details, photos, information that we didn't really have before for Modern Combat Vs. And I was working on a video for it, guys. I was working long and hard on a video. I was almost ready to get it uploaded. And then, just today, they were like, hey, I heard you like information. Here's a lot more. So now we have even more detailed information on maps. We have more detailed information on the agents, aka mercenaries, that we will be able to play as. We have more information on if the game is free to play or not. All that good, juicy info. Let me get right into it right now. So I'm actually going to start off with the orientation trailer, the backstory from the game. I know you guys probably don't want to hear about the backstory, but I'm going to just start off with this because it strongly ties in with the plot. It ties in with why you're fighting the other team. So pretty much there was a few governments that collapsed, or very powerful governments that collapsed, and a nuclear war. There was a void of power that was left behind, and because there was a void of power, Corp decided, hey, we're going to take control and pretty much make a mini North Korea, or a very large North Korea, in our image. So they're like spewing propaganda and everything everywhere. Some people don't like this, so they form an opposition group, Octo. Octo is fighting against Corp because they want to make change, probably fighting for freedom, all that kind of stuff. Octo and Corp don't want to go into a full-out war because they know there's going to be consequences to it, so they decide, we're not going to do that. Instead, we're going to hire mercenaries, aka agents, to do our bidding. So they pretty much, both sides are hiring agents to fight against each other to do their bidding. And that is pretty much the plot of the game. You are playing as agents, mercenary agents, for either side, Octo or Corp. And that is pretty much sums up the backstory. Since we're done with the backstory, let's get into the juicy information. I'm going to start off with the multiplayer maps. Now, guys, it has been confirmed there are 5 maps. That is right, there are going to be 5 maps. We have Apex, Blackrock, Port, Sandstorm, and Slums. You might be like, what? 5 maps? That's more than Modern Combat 5 on launch. I know, right? Anyways, take a look at Slums for a quick second. If you take a look at the Slums map that was released in the trailer, then you also take a look at the Slums photo they launched, you can tell, maybe you can't tell, maybe you are a newer player. This is pretty much Dog Days from Modern Combat 4, one of the most popular maps for competitive in Modern Combat 4. They are bringing to Modern Combat Vs. Dog Days was personally one of my favorite maps. There were other great maps in MC4, however I did play on Dog Days the most because that's what most people tend to enjoy, tend to like. But yeah, they are remastering Dog Days. They're changing up the layout somewhat, but they are bringing it back for Modern Combat Vs. And that is really, really great to see. I'm actually very, very excited for that. Now, going back to the trailer, they did release like the overview image of the maps. If you take a look at these overview images, you might be like, there's these weird areas that places just cut off. Like, how am I supposed to get over here? Well, it has been confirmed there is wall running. Now, we don't know if there's going to be exosuit jumping, and if there is exosuit jumping, I'm going to f***ing kill myself. I'm just kidding, I'm not going to do that, but like, I hope there's no exo jumping, guys. But there is going to be wall running. Now, yeah, just because there's wall running, just because they're copying a thing from Call of Duty doesn't mean it's going to be like Call of Duty. I believe the wall running is just to get around the maps. We do have a detailed article from Touch Arcade that talks about the wall running. And pretty much when you get to an area that you can run across and you push the sprint button, you will run across that wall to get to the other area. They don't talk about anything like exo jumping or jumping in general. So I'm hopeful so far. I'm very hopeful so far on that. But yeah, so you can wall run on these certain areas to get into different areas of the map. And there's only apparently 2 different spots on each map 2 different spots on each map to do wall running. So it's not like you're going to be able to wall run on every surface. You're only able to run on 2 areas, apparently. We'll have to see, we'll have to wait until we actually get into the game, until we actually see more gameplay of the game to actually confirm that, but that is what we have so far. Now let's go on to the mercenaries, the agents of the game. Now, because agents are pretty much going to be the most important thing, you're going to be playing as them. I'll start off with their perks, all that kind of stuff. We do know there's going to be different kind of classes, kind of like Modern Combat 5, but I hope it doesn't limit us like Modern Combat 5. If you guys played Modern Combat 5, which you probably did, it limits you with the perks you can use. You can only use recon weapons with recon class. It wasn't very enjoyable in that kind of sense, so I do hope there is more customizability. But let us actually get right into the classes. So starting off, there is the attacker class. They'll deal constant weapon damage, and they are equipped with abilities that provide wide range of utilities during battle. Moving on, we then have the defender class. Provides team support with a focus on damage mitigation, so pretty much the heavy. With high health, it takes a lot of firepower to take them down. These are direct quotes from Touch Arcade, by the way. Then we have the assassin class. Deals large bursts of damage with their weapon or ability, but their health is kind of low and makes them easily vulnerable. When I first saw the assassin class in the trailer, that kind of made me think of recon, because like if you guys don't know in MC5, recons did like extra backstab damage, that kind of stuff, making them kind of like assassins. But yeah, that's just one little connection I didn't make. And then we have the specialist. Focuses on disrupting the battlefield with situational weapons and abilities. Now, we don't exactly know what kind of perks they'll have for a specialist, but we'll have to see how this is. I'm thinking of maybe like a specialist, maybe you can jam the radar in the area, that kind of stuff. But that is something else. Like again, I said previously, we'll have to wait and see. Now, there will be 12 agents in total. There's going to be a certain amount of agents for each kind of category. We do already have some of the assassins. We do have some of the assault class names already confirmed. They have 4 photos of agents. I will be showing them on screen right now. We have Minu, Swift, Ghost, and we have Locke, and we do have an assault that has a mutant grenade, which I don't know, mutant grenade, that sounds kind of sketchy, but we'll have to see how that turns out. I don't know if they're going to be adding any new kind of classes or if they're going to be changing anything up with them, but I believe that they might have some different changes. Like, we don't know if there's going to be any dedicated agent kind of class for snipers. So for all I know at this moment, we might be able to use any weapon with the assassins. We might be able to use RPGs if we really wanted to with the assassins, which would be really great. I would really love to be able to customize my weapons with. Now, actually, one side note as well. When I did take a look at this, I kind of did think of Black Ops, because like if you ever played Black Ops 3, if you ever have seen the specialists before, they all have their own specialist abilities, and pretty much the specialist ability does charge up, and they can use their ability. That's what I'm pretty much comparing this with right here. So it's kind of taking some aspects from Black Ops 3. We'll have to see how they balance them out in the future once we do get into the game, but I am quite excited for all of this. Now, I probably should have put this earlier. I'm going to get into some other details that a lot of you guys have been waiting for, and a lot of you guys probably did not like MC5 because of. So, starting off, they say Modern Combat Versus will be free to play right out of the game. You might be like, oh no, they're going to have in-app purchases. Yeah, of course they're going to have in-app purchases, guys, but that doesn't really matter too much, because Game Loft does promise there will not be any pay-to-win elements, and there will not be an energy system. No energy system, no pay-to-win. The claim by Game Off so far, will they be able to keep this claim? I hope they will. We will have to see, but I am quite happy that so far they say they will have no energy and all that kind of stuff. Touch Arcade says they'll have a region-locked soft launch happening as soon as next week. As soon as next week, meaning we are quite close to Modern Combat Versus. It will be coming soon. Some other small details. Maybe this is not too small. This is actually quite major. There is no single player. It's all multiplayer. So we'll have to see how that turns out. Like, because usually I do like playing Modern Combat campaigns. They are quite interesting to see. But I don't know, maybe they'll have like a single player that's kind of multiplayer, so like missions that you play with other people to do objectives and that kind of stuff. And then they'll have the classic like team battle, those kind of game modes. But we are still missing some information. We do have some gameplay, but it's not enough. There's still a lot missing, a lot of holes that will need to be filled. But once we do get the soft launch, once we actually get our hands on more gameplay, hopefully every one of those holes will get filled, and hopefully everyone will be happy, or at least most people will be happy. I'm quite happy right now. Anyways, guys, that is pretty much my overview of the Modern Combat Versus overview or orientation trailer and the information that was released today. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. I did have to kind of redo some parts, so it might be a bit all over the place, since I did need to try to incorporate some information that I did not have in before. But I tried my best. Anyways, guys, I hope you guys did enjoy the video. I'll keep you guys updated if there's any more information on Modern Combat when it does launch. Anyways, guys, this is Hax, and I am out. Peace.